When Andrew was a baby, he had hives so bad that he had hives on his hives. Like he would have a bigger hive and then there'd be a.
Oh my
And they
gosh.
wouldn't go away. We finally figured out he was allergic to the persistent ear infection that he had. Whatever strain of bacteria it was, he was also allergic to it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so they put tubes in his ears and he was never had hives.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think that's. There's more people. I know. I met him, but it was on one of these, you know, I don't know. You see this much. See the joke? You do you, Christopher. Yes, we're bringing people on.
What is taking so long?
We weren't here since 9 o'clock, sir, and if you had been here sooner, we would have blew them up. Don't mess them up.
You saw my calendar, you just cried. Say, I understand. 4 coordinators who text me, I'm like, I'm getting there as soon as I can, and I'm covering Doug.
Gotta say no, gotta say no.
Oh, how's the trip going for Doug?
He's still in Spain, or he's in Portugal today.
Okay, isn't that so awesome?
That was a great trip.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like a really fun trip. He gets back tomorrow night.
Hello.
He gets back tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
See, I always say you need a vacation from your vacation.
Oh, yeah, me too. I always take at least a day off when I get back. He's coming back Thursday in the office. Is he really out? I did it to myself this morning. I had a bunch of NTRs and I requested 7.
Oh, Bashan. The other thing I did this weekend, I went to go see Furioso. Is that what the name of it is? Yes.
I wasn't.
Let me just tell you, one, I think it was better than what it's supposed to be the prequel to. But 2, it's still not better than the first Mad Max. And I don't understand why they had Hemsworth in there with the prosthetic nose. I don't understand what that brought to. It's not as though his character is someone in real life.
I think they said it was the first time he got to use his original Australian accent, but it was still like Outland Australian, not like his original Australian.
But I thought it was good. It was action packed. I always say if you go see a movie that's filled with action, even if the plot is horrible, you're like, hey, well, the action was great. But no, it was good.
That's what we like all.
Right.
Yeah. I would put it behind Thunderdome.
Yeah, that's right. They keep you entertained.
Hey.
Just have an NTR.
Israel No, absolutely. No,
I don't know, it's because they didn't have, they're maxed out downstairs, and he's a special housing, so they have to put the separated. I noticed you wearing that.
Yeah. It's been a lowest level, wasn't just your, you know. That was less than $50. There? There. Okay. So I can give you just send her an email. You can CC me on it and then combine those forensics anytime. These are with my first year. But I'll she left kind of early today. Did you get a chance to talk to her at all? No worries, no worries. No, it's such a new setting. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool.
We're bringing your people too.
I'll write down both parties. Two guys.
How they have us squeezed in such a tiny little space, you have to like put them on, otherwise you'll hear the other. Unless somebody else. is there.
True.
I forgot my earphones. Oh, that's what I do. I use the wire. I can't stand it. Plus they don't run out of charge.
She had an intern email 10 years ago and that's a real one. Yeah, no problem. Let's do that. Okay. Cool beans. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so they say that we're going to go live with this new program on June 3rd.
That's what they say.
And they sunset the legacy system tomorrow. So no matter what, like we can't edit anything starting tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to buy a beer and go pour some out for my Aegis homies. That's sad. All these years.
So here's my question though. One, again, if everything is uploaded to this system and this system crashes and everything is lost.
That's how we're doing the paper
Yeah,
tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we have to come in on Sunday to update everything.
okay, and see, here's the thing. They're making people come in on Sunday to update things and they're not paying them for that time.
Anybody know good employment lawyers?
They're receiving comp time, which my understanding is they receive the comp time, but then they're not allowed to use it.
Are you available, Meredith? I don't do employment law, but it sounds like a good time to get you.
All right, are you all ready on Christopher Gonzalez or no? I think Michael's talking to him outside. Are we ready on Rebecca Alvarez?
Rebecca?
And probation, this is an application for deferred. Court is calling 2024 CR 3101B, State of Texas versus Rebecca Jean Alvarez. Can our parties announce for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state yard.
Defense?
William Davidson.
All right, and are you Miss Alvarez? Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Alvarez, did you review and sign what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review what's entitled true bill of indictment with your attorney? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, sir.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are waiving count 2 and we are waiving the enhancement allegation, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated robbery? That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes,
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
yes,
Ms. Alvarez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 18 years in the prison, and the state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea.
yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, yeah,
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
no objections.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, so we can go off the record. I can make a ruling on this if you all will provide me with criminal history. And also, I'll give you time to call whatever the witnesses you would like to call. So we can call it back in about 2 weeks if everyone is okay with that.
Well, the issue though is, she told me she has an ongoing heroin problem. And
Okay.
I'm gonna request a PAP evaluation just so they could give you something to look at.
All right. Ms. Abrams, TAP evaluation's 2 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll give you a TAP evaluation if you want a TAP evaluation, or if she wants to give testimony about her issues, I'll take those as, you know, I'll listen to her and judge her credibility on whether it's true or not.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
All right, so what we'll do then is we'll recall it then in 2 weeks. State, if you'll give me the criminal history, and counsel, if you want to have witnesses present, you can have witnesses present.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we can go back on the record. So counsel, you're in agreement then to your calling witnesses in 2 weeks, the state presenting the court with the criminal history. And then if you want her to have testimony of any drug issues that she may have, you're okay with me taking testimony on that and then making a decision based upon that as opposed to the full PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if we can recall this in 2 weeks for sentencing. All right, so we'll be back on June 11th. Do you have any questions? All right, so on June 11th, what will happen is both parties will have the information for me. I'll hear whatever testimony, and I'll base my decision on your application, of course, on any evidence that's presented to the court. All right, thank you. Mark Anthony Perez. And Ms. Abrams, this is an application. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2594, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Perez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Zach Dunn for the state.
defense? And are you Mr. Perez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with injury to the elderly, bodily injury? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. They're taking in consideration County Court Cause number 731618. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, TAP evaluation, follow those recommendations, mental health evaluation, and follow those recommendations, and no contact with Juan Perez. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes. Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. I understood that.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your agreement?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Of course, Your Honor. I understand.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State law for states 1 and attachments. No
Any
objection,
objection?
Your Honor.
Have you spoken with the complainant?
We had spoken with the complainant, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Perez, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, we'd like to, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, what I can tell you is that Mr. Bettis is under a protective order with his father, and he's been abiding by it. Although there was one minor slip up, his brother actually lived next door to his father, so he goes to his brother's house, he was too close to his father's. But he's very, very much aware of what he can and cannot do, and I think he will comply with the conditions of probation.
All right. So do you have any prior mental health issues?
May I say it?
Sure.
Before I was incarcerated, my parents, I understand, my mom, mean, I was getting, I was getting, in the past, I was getting help at the Center for Healthcare Services for my, like, not that, I was on Risperdal, or Risperidone, just for, for anxiety, you know. But I didn't get to do that before, so that's that.
He was having difficult, he's talking about the day of the incident, Judge, he was having a difficult time.
All right. So other than anxiety, have you ever been diagnosed with anything else?
No.
All right. When's the first time you saw a doctor for mental health issues?
For 2024, I was saying it was in 2021.
So how old were you then?
I was 32,
All right.
36.
Drug use.
I've been clean for the last 2 years, please.
Well, whatever. I understand. I'm trying to figure out history here. So you've been clean for the past 2 years. What have you been clean from?
Alcohol
And what else?
drugs.
What type of drugs?
I was just smoking marijuana.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm trying to set conditions for you. I don't do cookie cutter conditions because I want people to be successful. But if you're not honest with me about what you use, what's going to end up happening if you'll be sent off in the world unprepared. And then when you come back to court, which you probably will on a motion to revoke, you're going to want to tell me everything about your life at that point. So it's best that you tell me now. So alcohol, marijuana, what else?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. I'm going with the alcohol and marijuana. And so nothing else had better come up in your system.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court is finding you guilty. Do you have any children?
I have one son. He's 12.
All right. And who does he live with?
He lives with his mother.
When's the last time you saw him?
3 months ago.
All right.
3 months.
3 months ago. All right. As previously stated, court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. Taking consideration 731618. There's an affirmative finding of family violence.
That's right.
There should be a TAP evaluation. How long is the MIC in custody?
That's probably about a month.
All right. There should be a TAP evaluation in custody and out of custody.
To go through the whole process.
All right. So we'll do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. If there's some issues with that, Ms. Abrams, then we may have to take him into custody and do the mental health evaluation at that point. So when they give you the referral for Center for Healthcare Services, you had better go.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is you may end up waiting for 30 or 45 days. You understand?
Yeah, Miss Kate, may I say something?
Sure.
That's the first thing I'm gonna do as soon as I'm released.
All right. There's to be regular reporting
Yes, ma'am.
by Zoom or in person.
Sure.
The UA hotline until further notice. There's to be no contact with Juan Perez.
Yes.
There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm gonna order parenting classes. Once he completes those, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits. One time per month. For 3 months. After he has received documentation from Center for Healthcare Services. So once he gets documentation for Center Healthcare Services, then 3 months for field visits, then as probation deems necessary. There's to be an anger management course. And MRT. When's the last time you had employment?
So, 2023.
So how you been supporting yourself?
I have jobs that are under the table.
All right, so we're not gonna do under the table in here, all right? So
I have a job waiting for me as soon as I get out here.
There's-
I'm gonna work at the Little Red Barn Steakhouse for the 5th time as a chef there.
all right, so proof of employment within 30 days.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am, thank you for understanding and bringing me just like that's.
Okay, court reporter is not picking up what you're saying because you're mumbling.
Thank you for everything. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, completely understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, to be successful in this court, when you're on probation, communication is key.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
there's an issue, let probation know about it. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Judge, can we just clarify for him so he'll understand a TAP evaluation in custody, is that the court's order?
Yes,
So what that means is you have to stay in the jail until they come and do the evaluation. And then they'll get released.
yes,
Because the only holding him in the jail right at this point, Judge, is the case that's getting dismissed.
yes. So you'll be in custody. The TAP evaluation, they'll have that done. They're telling me in about 2 weeks. And follow the TAP recommendations. If there's an issue, if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, then your attorney can come back and we can have a discussion about that. All right, is there anything else? All right, thank you. Oh, can I see his file one more time? I'm sorry. All right. Yahiri Ramo. Come forward, please.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
All right, what is your work hours?
From 9 AM to 2 PM.
Is that Monday through Friday?
Yeah,
That's yes.
yes,
Okay. So when's your next off day?
I'd say Wednesday, Thursday.
All right. When you say Wednesday or Thursday, is that next Thursday or this Thursday?
This Thursday.
This
And
Thursday?
also next week on Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, so what we're gonna do, your attorney is asking that your case be recalled for Thursday of this week.
Mhm.
So you're not working this week, Thursday?
Tomorrow.
No, Thursday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. And the next day is Thursday, the 30th. Are you working on that day?
No.
All right, so your attorney is in Guadalupe County on a motion to suppress up there. So we'll bring you back on Thursday the 30th. So once you sign the reset form, you're excused, but make sure you just back to, on Thursday on time, all right?
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you.
So have a seat, Matt. Renew the form.
All right, who is here on? Luis Martinez? All right, where is he? Come down.
I have Wilson Martinez, you called Martinez?
Yes, Luis Martinez. All right, so where are we on this case as far as discovery is concerned?
I think council would like to come into the office to review the forensics.
Okay,
And so I gave them our contact information and we're gonna make it happen.
all right.
That's right, Judge.
So is there any CPS records in this case or no?
Council, I'll have to defer to you, or this is a case with Ally. Have y'all had a chance to, is there anything? Because I can take a look real quick. I don't have anything comes to mind.
I don't think I have any yet, other than the, obvious.
Well, is the
We've got two
complainant,
forensics. He has two chops they've been.
all right, so is the
Sure there
complainant
is. I don't
in the,
have it yet.
all right, and the complainant in this case, and these are just allegations, I know, is this alleged to be,
There are two cases.
yes. So the complainant in the case, is it alleged to be a relative or someone that he's alleged to have been living with? Because that'll let me know if there are CPS records. Do we know? Is there any way to look to see?
I believe it's gonna be the granddaughter.
I think it's.
All right, so there should
I'm
be,
not sure about-
there will probably be CPS records then. So,
And I'm gonna reach out to them, even if Ally's already working on it.
okay.
Even if Ally's already working on it, I'll re-up on it today as well, while we're here.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Luis Martinez, give me a 45-day reset. All right, so we're going to come back on July 15th and state if all the discovery has been tendered, you'll need to be prepared to make an offer on that
That
day.
sounds great, Judge. Thank you.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further going.
All right, thank you.
Let me check real quick if they're.
Yeah.
And Your Honor, as a small side note, I am pleased to report that they've already received them, so, before the next setting, I'll get them an agreed protective order and I'll give it to them.
Okay, awesome.
So, thank you.
All right, who's,
Awesome.
okay, this has already been done. Why is this written on? All right, Rebecca Alvarez.
Ms. Alvarez?
Sure.
On June 11th, I have a guardianship that lasts for about 10 minutes from 10 to 10:15.
Okay,
I was gonna ask if I could either come here at 10:15 or maybe do it June 12th, either way.
sure. We can wait for you. That's not a problem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
June 11th.
Who's here on Curtis Wilson? Oh, and did I see that last file back on Luis Martinez? To put in here, they already have CPS records.
Wilson?
All right, state on this case, were you able to tender an offer?
Judge, I was talking with defense, they wanted time to review the case before we started negotiating.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if on this case you'll reset it in 30 days.
Because we had 927 files.
Okay, all right, we'll see where we are. All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Exactly June 27th.
then when?
30 days exactly June 27th.
All right, June 27th. All righty. Yeah.
Wilson?
Who's here on Israel Fuentes Gonzalez?
Your Honor, we were gonna approach on a reset, however, we reached an agreement, we're gonna paperwork.
All right, thank you. So that's gonna be a plea. Who's here on Andres Menchaca? Are you all ready with the other plea? All right. Who's here on Decorian Smith? Yes. All right, what is happening with this case?
Good afternoon, Judge. It's our first setting and we were discussing possible disposition with the DA. However, it's come to my attention. I've met with my client in the past, but in this meeting, it's come to my attention, there was a witness present that day. This case involves a backpack that may or may not have been my client's, according to the state. This witness would have direct knowledge of it. However, he's currently in SATA and he's out from mid-June, so I either need to wait till he gets out after getting permission to speak to him, hopefully from his counsel. If I want to interview him sooner, I believe I need a court order. And I'm willing to do that in other courts.
Well, I mean, with regards to a court order, I don't know what his case involves in SATF and if somebody's going to, if he's just a witness or if somebody's going to be saying this is his backpack. So he'll need an attorney present.
Yes, I believe that may end up.
And which court is his case out of?
I don't know. I just know he's in SATF. I know his name and I know when he gets out.
Oh, what's his name?
His name is Damian Bell.
Did you look up Damian Bell and see which court he's out of?
Damien. Yes. That's how I would typically.
You know what? Try DAMIAN and DAMIEN. And because of my time in CPS, also try DEMON. And Bell, maybe BELL and BELLE. Just 1 second. Ms. Abrams, are you able to look up to see if there's a Damian Bell who's on probation, who's currently in SATA? That's what we're assuming. Is that who that is?
What's that?
She's saying Damian Cowell.
Is it, know what he's on?
We have no
I
idea.
assume it's drugs. He's in for some sort of fraud case, but he isn't sad.
My understanding, he's currently in SATA.
Yeah, $3.99.
Yes.
That would be $3.99.
And do you have a SID number?
His number was 113-6061.
Wait, 113?
6061.
All right.
That's on his signature.
All right, and do you know, does it say how long he's gonna be in SATA? Huh? So there you go.
Is he out? Well, that's easy. It's now it's
They put it as complete as of today, so.
perfect. Okay, that makes it easy.
So Norma, let's recall this case in 30 days.
June 27th.
All right, so we're gonna come back on June 27th, and defense, you have your information.
Wonderful. Thank you for the
Sure.
assistance, Judge.
No problem.
Thank you, Judge.
Is anyone here on Marie Miles? Josue Alvarado? All right. State, are you ready on Dundre Scott? The attorneys by Zoom. Okay.
No.
She is by Zoom if you want to call her and confer. He is, let me find what page he's on. It's Anita, it's his attorney. Okay, all right, we'll wait for family violence to come back then. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Mendoza's client, they were bringing him off the bed, he fell head first out of that. And so they're waiting for EMS,
Okay, and who is, what is his name?
Christopher Herrera. Because he's spent a house separately, so that's why it took a little bit longer.
All right, could I see the file on Christopher Herrera? So he's here at the courthouse, right?
Yeah, he's waiting for
Oh,
EMS.
okay.
Oh, Michael, you want to check on your client?
Not trained in medical. I'm not
Is
a
he-
doctor.
Is he bleeding?
They're waiting for EMS, Judge. That's
Is there blood?
Oh,
They're in this house.
There's blood, Judge. Right.
oh yeah, that's very dangerous.
Yeah. He didn't have stability problems until the sheriff got custody of him. Just saying.
Okay. All right, so they're probably going to end up taking him, Mr. DeLeon.
Yes. Judge.
When do you want this call back?
We were just gonna ask for a regular reset anyways, Judge. I need to look at the child safe videos. That was
All
the
right.
next step. I think this is our second set.
All right, and on Herrera, is there CPS records? Is the complainant alleged to be,
That's another Jackson special, but I can check right now, Judge.
okay.
I can check.
Do you know if it's alleged to be grandchild or?
It's a
Wonder who
daughter
lives-
or stepdaughter.
Yes, state there's going to be CPS records.
Thank you, Judge.
Let me check my.
Judge, Ms. Alvarez, do you want the tap done, or
No,
you said you were gonna take care of hearing her testimony?
Yes.
correct? Yeah. she's- okay. Where is the question? Okay, well, they're probably on a disc.
Alvarez.
And Norma, on Herrera, if I can have a 45-day reset on that?
Judge, this is another example of we have them, but then I can make defense a copy for themselves.
Are you okay with July 15th?
More than okay, yes.
All right, so we'll do that. And if you want him brought over sooner than that, just let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Keep it after this.
And you got it ready.
All right, so Deputy Laura, we're gonna just bring him back on June 15th. Hopefully everything's okay with him. All right, are y'all ready on Christopher Gonzalez?
Yes, Judge. Christopher.
All right, so last time we were here, complaining witness in the hospital, is complaining witness out of the hospital.
Complaining witness is a Zach Dunn case. Complaining witness is out and the records have already been given to defense and uploaded to verify.
All right, so we need a jury trial date. How long is this gonna last?
We do, this would be like a 4-day trial, Judge, and I'm looking for, something in August or July. August be preferable.
We can bring it back, the week of July 1st. Of course, you know, that's, the 4th is on the Thursday.
No.
Some attorneys have to be out of county, Judge.
No.
All right, Norma, this needs to be set at the latest July, at the earliest June.
Judge, I'd remind the court that I'm. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. I'll take it back.
All right. So what date?
What are we looking at?
All right, so
That one.
you say July 1st, and let me just tell you, Marina's face changed, Deputy Laura's face changed, even Zach's face changed and Michael's face changed. So here's the thing, everyone. Can you mute us for a moment?
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. All right, thank you.
Judge, once again, he's dressed quite
Yeah.
appropriately.
He
My
always,
vintage account is maxed out.
yeah, he always dresses appropriately. Thank you very much.
Judge, can I approach real quick?
All right, all right. I'm gonna give him a little talking to. Okay. Yes.
I just need some signatures for some travel paperwork for previous trials. There's like 7 of them.
Okay.
It's just right.
Okay, sure. You're right.
Like I really need to. It's on his.
Oh, this one doesn't have a date on it.
Okay, I'll come back with that one.
Okay.
That one was filled out in a weird way. I don't put the dates on them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna fill them in.
Okay. So these two are done.
Allie, do you want the one where they release started? Well, you didn't tell me though. Yeah, it was March 12th.
All right. Are you all ready on Dundre Scott or no? You're welcome.
Oh,
And that person who was trying to take things, what is
that would
his
be
name?
my client.
He's here for robbery and he's taking pins allegedly. Yeah. And then they said he tried to take something off it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly.
Don Scott was one where the
With a straight.
attorney said she had an appointment.
Yeah, she's on Zoom. So if you all call her and confer.
We're gonna confirm, we're sure he has an offer. So,
Okay,
she already had.
all righty. Then we will bring her and her client in here. Oh, I'm just, they're on Zoom. All right, Anita Perez and Dundre Scott.
Yes, Judge, I'm
Dundre Scott, you need to unmute and start video.
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, State, my understanding you tendered an offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And counsel, you received all the discovery?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
All right, how old are you, sir?
30.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can recall this in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please. All right, we're gonna be back on June 13th. You need to be in court. It's at 9 a.m. And you'll need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the plea bargain agreement. If not, we'll set you for jury trial.
All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scott.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else ready?
I just got paperwork out there.
Okay, sure. All right, and is Bill Davidson still here on Thomas Rojas Navarro? All right, thank you. And then Israel Fuentes Gonzalez. With Mr. DeLeon, they're doing paperwork on that. And then Norma, were you able to get in touch with Lorraine Efron on Marie Miles? And who is the attorney on Josue Alvarado? Okay.
Yeah, we're ready. I just need to tell them it's gonna happen.
I got nothing with you. No pins. Maybe that's something else to do with it.
Is this your first?
Yes.
Deputy Laura, could you make an announcement in the hallway for Josue Alvarado? And it's Teche. And also Marie Miles.
Marie.
All right, and excuse me, Jennifer,
Yeah.
on Marie Miles.
Yeah.
Can you check to see if that's a commercial bond? 2024, 3366.
She is on bond in McCray, bail bonds number 3, so this.
All right, and then if you could look up 2024, 3480.
He is the second chance bail bonds, so also commercial.
All right, is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2024 CR 3366, State of Texas versus Marie Therese Miles for the state.
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 2:40 p.m. Deputy, did you make an announcement for Marie Miles in the hallway?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And was anyone there?
No, ma'am.
All right, and the defendant has not appeared in court. State?
Your Honor, we're asking for a bond forfeiture.
All right, that will be granted. She'll be remanded without bond. If she makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. And one more.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2024 CR 3480, State of Texas versus Josue Alvarado Teche, Teche, for the state.
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 2:41 p.m. The defendant has not made an appearance in court. Deputy, did you make an announcement for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what were the results?
No answer.
State?
Your Honor, we're asking for a bond forfeiture.
All right, that will be granted. The defendant will be remanded without bond. If he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let them know.
My client is going to contest the NCR. I do not think that it will take very long, but I don't know if Judge wants us to do it today or to come back another day, whatever Judge Boyd would like.
All right, let me see. So is that Mr. Huerta? Yes, let me see the file.
Well, the water. Yeah, it's made of plastic, but didn't have the cancer stuff. So, and my husband bought it. It's real bad right now.
All right, state on Huerta. So there's only a violation of condition number 39. Failure to participate in the mental health initiative. So he didn't do the evaluation in custody. Is there somebody who can testify to this or no?
I think the.
Judge, I can get someone.
All right, all right, so we can proceed then. Are you going to object to them appearing by Zoom? Okay, all right, so if they can appear by Zoom, we'll do it. Counsel, do you want to have your client sign the trial court certification?
Yes.
Okay,
That would be good.
all right. So how are the wedding plans coming along? I'm so excited.
Judge, so it's just a crazy time because we've got Andrew's move-in date for Baylor because he's going to Baylor.
Mhm.
So Maddie gets married on Wednesday, the 14th of August. He moves in on the 15th.
Oh, my gosh.
So
Ah,
it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's going to be, we have a shower this weekend and then she's got all her, registry stuff. And
so
sent
did
out
you
the
finish with all your estate shopping?
Yeah. We took the dress that we bought and she had her first fitting and she has her second fitting in 2 weeks where they're gonna do the hem because they had to take it in and now they gotta do the hem. And then we go for our final fitting in July and then we'll go do her portraits and all of that.
I cannot believe baby girl.
I know.
One of our interns here is from Baylor. Yeah.
Well, he's real excited. They gave him a full ride for his music. And so all we're paying for is the dorm, which not nothing, but it's, it's Baylor. He's really excited. But he's marching right now. He's in Vermont.
Oh,
Let me get the trial court certification.
okay,
Because
sure.
this was an original plea bargain case. I'm like,
Yes. Yes.
Okay, on Marie Miles,
Mhm.
I had reached out to Norma last week because my client had a conflict at work.
Mhm.
And I understood we were being recalled for Thursday.
Ah, okay.
So if the court will allow, she's gonna be here.
All right, could I have the file back on Miles, please?
Yes.
Thank you. I understand Teresa submitted an option already.
Hank,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any objections? She said that she had spoken to Norma to have this recalled for Thursday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Do you have any objection to my recalling the bond forfeiture?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we'll recall the bond forfeiture and she'll need to be here on Thursday.
Okay, and the way she will not miss it.
Okay,
She will not. She's been so nervous about this.
all right,
Okay, thank you. May I be excused?
sure.
Okay.
What's the judge on this? No, it's closed.
All right, Norma, Marie Miles, Ms. Efron said that you informed her she could appear on Thursday, so that's being recalled for Thursday.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it was kind of. Yeah. This should be here, Judge.
All righty, okay. Oh, no, come around here.
Okay.
This is for the investigator.
May I come?
Yes. All right, and can you mute us, please? Thank you. All right, on this case then, unless your guy is going to plead true and then just leave it up to the court. If he wants to do that, we can do it today. If he doesn't want to do that, then they need to see whether or not the Center for Healthcare Service will accept a subpoena by email. If not, then they're gonna have to serve them. And will you all be okay with them appearing by Zoom if we get to that point? All right, so let them know they can appear by Zoom. But if somebody will ask your client.
Oh, I've asked him. He's pleading not true, Judge.
Okay,
That's
so
his
could we
position.
bring him out, please?
His judge.
I understand that, Bob. Now, Barbara, you can be talking to him.
Yeah, just say I will never object to MTR to Zoom, because what if I need somebody by Zoom someday and need them to
Just say, yeah.
trial may be different.
Mhm.
than MTR. Had to appear by Zoom and hearing. It is where we are.
Mr. Davidson?
My daughter,
That's fun.
my baby, who might with us.
That's fun.
Yes, she's gonna be an empty nester,
Wow.
like all in one fell swoop.
All of us.
It's awesome.
Yeah. The house is very quiet and. Yeah, it's exciting. We like her. We like her.
Hello, Mr. Wortha.
I don't know what
How are you doing today?
you're doing.
All right, so here's the thing, when you're brought over, and mind you, I'm not taking anything as true, I'm just putting you on notice.
Yes, ma'am.
One, you can't be taking pens.
No, ma'am.
All right, number two, you can't be destroying stuff over there.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you're brought over, you just need to sit in your seat. Don't touch any of the equipment, because that equipment, though outdated, is still expensive.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Understand.
So this is what's going to happen with your case. My understanding from your attorney is that you want to have a contested hearing. So what will end up happening is the witness that they're going to call, because both parties have told me there's only one allegation in the motion. And that allegation in the motion is that you did not participate in an evaluation.
Yes, ma'am.
So somebody's going to be brought over to testify, and they're either going to say you participated in an evaluation, or either they're going to say you didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes, ma'am. The only thing was, I saw two different people for that. That's why I didn't know. The first one I saw, it was for the same evaluation.
All right, so here's the thing. What you believe the facts of your case to
Yes,
be,
yes, ma'am.
your attorney may not want you to
No, I
discuss them with
understand.
me. So what I can tell you is, according to the allegations in the motion, they are saying, and I don't take any of it as true because they'll present witnesses. They're saying that you didn't participate in the mental health initiative evaluation in custody. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what they're saying you didn't do. So they're gonna bring in a witness, and that witness is either gonna say you participated in it or you didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
That's where we are. So your attorney tells me that you want somebody to be brought in to testify whether you participated it or not. All right, so that's what we'll do. And that person is gonna be by Zoom. It's gonna be somebody, both parties have told the court, it's gonna be somebody with Center for Healthcare Services. So that person who is alleged to have went to try to interview you is gonna come and testify by Zoom. And either they're gonna say, oh yeah, I recognize him. He participated in the interview, or either they're gonna say, yeah, I recognize him and he wouldn't participate. That's where we are. So we will come back. We're gonna come back in June. And that is going to be Ms. Ferguson. Can we do this the week of June 17th? Is that enough time? Say, defense, are you available the week of June 17th?
I'm double checking, Judge, because I have two murder trials next month. It looks like the 17th is good. My murder doesn't start till the next Monday.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, we're having a hearing, contested hearing, should be relatively short. Mhm. All right, so we'll come back on June 17th. But before we do that, I'll go ahead and accept your plea. So that'll be one less thing we'll have to do on that date. All right.
Would that be at 9 on the 17th?
Yes. All right, court is calling. That's one moment. 2022 CR 6940, State of Texas versus Bernardo C. Huerta. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Meredith should come from Mr. Huerta, Your Honor.
And are you Bernardo C. Huerta?
Yes.
Are you the same Bernardo C. Huerta who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 6940 for the offense of robbery on July 18, 2023 for a term of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
Violated condition number 39 on or about the 30th day of April 2024 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Bernardo C. Huerta, did then and there fail to participate in the mental health initiative evaluation in custody and comply with all rules, regulations, and instructions as directed by the court and or supervision officer in violation of condition number 39.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
All right, so if y'all want to go back and discuss things.
Okay,
All
Thank
right,
you, Judge.
thank you. You're welcome.
you want back there?
Yes.
Itemize, additional hours requested, may I?
Okay, I thought that had already, can you check in the back and see if they've actually, that's actually been submitted to me before? All right, thank you.
Yeah. Earlier today, same thing happened.
Yeah.
There's only, I would have read more.
Yeah, he's ready. He wants me to have him.
All right, let's go back on the record and 2022 CR 6940. All right, Mr. Huerta, it's the court's understanding you've had time to speak to your attorney
Yes.
in regards to your plea of truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 39 after speaking to counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 39, court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 8 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 39?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 39 true. Is there a proposed agreement or no?
No, there is not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
We're asking that you follow probation's recommendation, Judge, which is to alter and amend conditions for DDRF and to hold the probationer, hold Mr. Huerta in custody until the Center for Healthcare Services, the Tacoma evaluation, the TCOOMMI evaluation for DDRF is completed, Your Honor.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, my client has been in since January awaiting the DDRF. The wait is very, very long for DDRF. There was, yes, he's pled true to not doing the eval. He did a part of an evaluation and thought he had completed the entire thing. But he would like the opportunity to do some sort of outpatient. Our understanding is the wait for DDRF is 6 or 7 months long potentially, which means he will be sitting in jail almost a year by the time that happens. And so is there anything, may I ask if there's anything else?
Sure, but I will tell you, if you would have agreed to see them, you would have been done.
Yes.
And your 6 months would have been done.
Can I, whenever.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Bernardo Huerta.
All right, what
Yeah.
would you like to say?
Yes, ma'am. I do understand that, but it's still a 6 to 7 month wait. I have almost 2 years back time on this case already, just sitting in the jail.
Oh, do you just want to go to prison?
No, we don't. I don't.
All right, so here's the
But
thing.
I don't
Let's
ask
stop it.
people-
No, stop. Let me explain something to you for a moment. Let's go off the record for a second. I don't know why people commit offenses. You plead to the offenses that you committed. You're placed on probation. You get a motion to revoke. The reason why you have the DDRF pending is because you were here for a motion to revoke a violation of condition number 4. Guess what? If you were not placed back here for a violation for your motion to revoke, you never would have been waiting for a mental health evaluation. What ends up happening is people are on probation. They're excited about getting probation because they thought they were going to prison. And people will stand before me and you know what they will say? I can be on probation for life. I'm pulling my life together. You can ask me to report every day. I'll do it. I already know that's not going to happen. It's sort of like when people say, I'm 1,000% sure that I'm clean. You know what that usually means? they're dirty. Anything anybody says that's beyond 100%, it's usually not true. So you came before me with that. You were placed on probation July. Then February 2024, you had a violation of condition number 4. And I remember you. You came before me. You were so happy to be continued and not be revoked. And now you come before me.
I haven't.
And here's the thing though.
I haven't got out of jail.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. But the reason why you're in jail is because of your actions.
Yes, ma'am, and I understand.
And
that.
people will come before me, and let me just tell you what happens. Some people will come before me and they'll say, I don't belong to a gang. I don't do drugs. Or I pay child support. And I always ask people when they would say, I pay child support. What, you want a cookie? That's something you're supposed to do. Like, you're not supposed to be before me on motions to revoke because you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. And whenever I give people conditions, or whenever probation recommends conditions for them, they want to write their own program. If you could write your own program, guess what? I wouldn't have a job. Defense attorneys wouldn't have a job. The state wouldn't have a job. It would be great. But you can't appear before the court and then decide that you're writing your own program and you deciding that you're not going to follow through and speak to the person. If you would have spoke to that person in April, your 6 months would have been done. You would have been either in DDRF or not. They would have transferred you. But you know what? You've been pushed back. You know why you've been pushed back? Because you did not want to do the other interview because you're like, I'm done. And I always tell people when you're on paper, and that's what this is a contract, you're on paper. Even if somebody tells you, we're coming here for an interview, and even if you've thought you've already done the interview, it doesn't hurt you to go ahead and do the interview, then you can come to court and say, they came to me for an interview for a 3rd time and I had already done the interview. Then we can discuss that. But when you don't follow through on what you're supposed to do, guess what ends up happening? Everything falls and you get placed at the end of the line, because guess what? There's somebody there who's on probation who had to be interviewed for mental health and DDRF. And guess what? They took your spot. That's where we are.
That's the only thing. I'm just seeing a lot of people coming back a lot of time waiting for it.
Yeah. I mean, I make rulings and there's a reason why these rulings are made. Right? And then you're also on, I believe you're on gang supervision as well.
I'm not sure.
Is he on gang supervision?
Sorry about that.
Well, were you a previous gang member?
I used to be, yes.
All right, so he was on gang supervision. So I have somebody standing before me who is on gang supervision. You know, you're given probation, the state recommended community supervision. And then you're over here pulling stuff off or trying to pull stuff off. That's why you have the DDRF. Now, if you don't want to wait for DDRF, I can revoke you. You guys can talk over what time you want, and I'll do what I will with regards to time. And guess what? You'll go to prison, you'll do your time, you'll get out. Either you're going to act right and follow the rules and conditions of society, which don't pick up any new offenses, take care of your children, stay on the straight and narrow. If you don't, you'll probably end up being a habitual, and your minimum when you come back will be probably 25, or maybe it'll be as a repeater in which case your minimum will be 15, depending on the charges. So if you want to discuss with the state and your attorney about doing your time, then you can do your time. And legally, I have to give you credit for any time that you've been in custody towards your time. So if you want to talk to your attorney about that and talk to the state about that, I'm not saying if they agree to revocation and they want to give you a specific amount of time, I'm not saying I'm following that, but I'll consider it. All right. So if you want to talk to your attorney about that, you can. So I'll let you all talk about that and I'll do this plea. Who is here on Thomas Navarro? Oh, and guys, I'm sorry. The people who are behind the court reporter, if y'all can move to the other end. Court is calling 2023 CR 0056, State of Texas versus Thomas Navarro. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
William Davidson.
Are you Mr. Navarro? Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Navarro, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we waived count one, proceed on count two with the enhancement, correct?
Any objection?
No objections.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand and count two, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams. If the state is able to prove the repeat offender enhancement allegation, your range of punishment will be anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Navarro, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his rights to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 2. You'd agree that you've been previously convicted of 1 or more felonies for enhancement. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. State is opposed to your application. They're taking in consideration night mag number 762184 and 762186. There's to be restitution, if any, to the complainants and night mag number 762184. That includes Circle K at 5100 Crestway in Windcrest, Texas, 78239. Jennifer Green, Michael Shannon, Luis Molina, Amanda Aldana, William Blue, and Christopher Johnson. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is asking that you have no contact with the complainants that are listed in NIMAC number 762184. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? To the enhancement paragraph, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
True. State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1.
No objections.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. The court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. All right, counsel, are you asking for a PSI or are you okay with the court proceeding with criminal history from the state and any other evidence that you wish to present?
Yes, Your Honor, providing I have some time to get my witnesses.
All right, do you want to set it on the same date as your other case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and let me see, what date did we give that? Was it June? June when?
11th.
Yes. All right, so we'll come back on June 11th.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, are the parties ready on Israel Fuentes Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, just 1 second. Are you ready?
Yes, but I do have to put something on the record. Judge, just to confirm, Navarro is not for PSI or TAP?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So you need to put something on the record?
Just at the beginning, I actually did ask.
Okay. All right, we'll do that and then we'll take yours up. All right, we're back on the record in 2022 CR 6940, State of Texas versus Bernardo Huerta. And Mr. Huerta, you're still under oath. All right, defense.
Mr. Huerta, we talked over the break about whether or not you would agree to go to DDRF, and you've indicated that you do not want to do that, correct?
No, I'm trying to get an outpatient program.
Okay, and knowing that that's not an option,
Just 1 second. I'm sorry. I don't know if the court reporter heard his answer.
can you repeat that?
I was trying to get an outpatient program. No, but if it's not possible.
All right, so you're trolling off. So my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, your answer to the defense counsel question is you're trying to get into outpatient treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's fine. He's just mumbling. And if you're not able to get into outpatient treatment, then what was the next thing you said?
Not figure out what happens.
All right.
Mr. Huerta, I explained to you the only options in front of you are DDRF, if you agree to it, or that we have a sentencing and the judge will determine how much time you receive. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And since outpatient is not an option, would you like to avail yourself of the opportunity to do DDRF? Or do you want to be sentenced today?
I guess we'll sentence.
Okay, and I advise you to go with DDRF, correct? Okay,
All right.
that's all I had to put on the record, Judge.
Thank you. All right, so he's pled true to violation of condition number 39. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's not, Your Honor. I would ask the court, I know that the defendant has stated that he would like to be sentenced. I don't think you should do that. I think you should say, hey, you're going to the inpatient. That's, I think that's a better option for him. If, I know he said he wants to be sentenced, but, and I can speak to that if the court would like to.
Sure. I mean, here's the question, Mr. Huerta. You don't get to decide whether you're in inpatient treatment or outpatient treatment. Now, they want to interview you for DDRF. Either you're going to do that or you're not going to do it. So, do you want to be interviewed for DDRF? Yes or no?
Yeah, I guess.
No, it's not I guess. It's either yes or no.
Yes.
You can't write your own program. Here are your options. Your options are you can be interviewed for DDRF. And if they deem that you're acceptable to the program, that's where you're going to be. Or if you don't want to do that and you tell the court you don't want to do that, then I will revoke you. Those are your two options. Now, if the court were to revoke you, then the most I could sentence you to is 8 years. I'm sure your attorney will ask for something probably less than 8.
20 years just in this deferred.
No, he's not on deferred, he's on regular.
He's been adjudicated, oh, okay.
Yes, so, no, he's on regular. So the most I can sentence him to is 8 years. So, and he legally, I have to give you credit for any time served that you've been in custody. So those are your options. Do y'all need to discuss this again or no?
Do you want to redo the earth or do you want the sentence? That's not an option. The judge has told you and I've told you there's two options. Sentence, we don't know how much time, up to 8 years. Okay. To be.
All right, so you want to be sentenced?
Yes.
All right. You've pled true to violation of condition number 39. Court is finding violation of condition number 39 true. State, what are you asking for?
We're asking for the 8 years, Your Honor. The defendant has been to the prison in 2010 for an ag assault with a deadly weapon. I know you've seen the SIPs in this, and I know it's a robbery, Judge, but it came in as an ag robbery. This was, the defendant was stealing from an O'Reilly's. When the employee tried to stop him, he pulled a knife on the plain witness in this case, Judge. So this is an inherently scary crime, Your Honor, and so that's why we're asking for the 8 years, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
The client would ask that you give him the minimum of 2 years and credit for time served.
The court is going to grant the motion. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. The court will give you credit for any time served. There's to be, just one moment. There's to be no contact with Abel, Abel Ramos, and O'Reilly's located at 955 South General McMullen, San Antonio, Texas 78237. And there is to be a $500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yeah.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegation in the motion, not the fact that you're on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you, okay? All right, are you all ready on Fuentes? Hello. Court is calling 2024 CR 1478, State of Texas versus Israel Renee Fuentes Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Michael DeLeon.
All right, and are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, did you review what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review what's entitled true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of tampering with evidence with intent to impair as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, The fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do believe he's mentally competent.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No motions, Your Honor.
Outside the plea, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Dilver, Dilver Alvarado. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. We reviewed that, Your Honor. We have no objection.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor. We do have one ask of the court.
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez is 23 years old. He works 6 days a week as an auto detailer, so he's always working. We're
I'm
wondering,
sorry, is what?
he was always working as an auto detailer.
Oh, auto detailer, okay.
Okay. We were wondering if there was anything you can do about maybe probating some of the fine or community service, given the fact that he is working all the time. It'd be a little difficult for him to do his community service. I know he bought out, that type of situation, but perhaps some type of consideration, given the fact that he is pleading and it's only his second, maybe third time here.
All right. So, do you have any children?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
I have one 5-year-old son.
All right, and how old are you?
I'm 23.
All right. And does your son live with you?
No, he lives with his mom.
All right, and who do you live with?
I live on my own with my girlfriend.
All right. Expecting any more children?
No.
All right. So until you get your life together, maybe best not to expect more children.
Yeah, understood.
All right. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results?
I come up negative for THC.
Wait, you say come up negative?
I mean, come up positive for THC. Sorry.
All right. Here's the thing, when you're on probation, you're not allowed to smoke marijuana, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. Those are the rules that the legislature has passed. I follow those rules. So even if you're at your house, you can't drink alcohol. Even if you're at your house, you can't smoke marijuana unless there's a medical prescription for it. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. How often are you seeing your child?
Last time I saw him was a couple months ago.
All right. 2 years deferred adjudication. 150 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. How far did you go in school?
I made it to my senior year.
All right, so did you not graduate?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I was put out of the house at 17, so I was homeless after that.
All right, so why were you put out of the house?
My grandparents didn't like that I wasn't working at the time.
Well, you have to do something.
Yeah.
So are you still in contact with your grandparents now? So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I have a lot of, I guess, ideas what I would like to do with my life. For sure, just definitely turn my life around and not have to go back to living on the streets ever again.
All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to order parenting classes, and I will give him 50 hours of community service for the parenting classes. All right. So you complete parenting classes, 50 hours of your community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Then I'm going to order that he be in a trade school, or either you go to school, or either you obtain your GED. All right. So trade school or GED. Once you do either one of those, the court will then deem the remaining 100 hours satisfied. But I believe that when people do community service hours, I know I could make you probably go out and pick up trash in this hot weather. But I'm hoping that the community service hours be something that you improve yourself, because that is sort of giving back to the community, because then the community doesn't have to worry about you because you're changing your ways. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There'll be regular random UAs, and they're going to test for levels, and those levels need to start going down. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits. 1 time per month for 3 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, and I'm sorry, no contact with Dilver Alvarado. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. You're young. You did something silly. Don't do that again. Don't put yourself in a bad situation because you're trying to protect somebody else, because at the end of the day, you now have a child that's dependent on you.
Yes.
And you now have a girlfriend or fiance who's decided, even though you come with baggage, because you're coming with a child, you haven't graduated, and she's decided, she sees something in you and has decided to take a chance on you and hook her star to you, right? And I'm sure she probably gets a lot of flack from her family saying, what are you doing with this guy? So here's your chance to turn things around, to be somebody that her parents will say, you know what, you made the right decision. He got off to a rocky start, but he's changing his ways. Now, in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, don't just throw your hands up. Come to court, We're here except on holidays and weekends, and we can always discuss it. And your attorney, I'm sure, will tell you that. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Are you ready on Menchaca? All right, we're back on the record in 2020 CR 3565, State of Texas versus Andres Menchaca for the state
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
For Mr. Machaca, Jeffrey Martinez, Your Honor.
All right, and you're Mr. Menchaca. All right, this is the motion to revoke. The court found violation of 5, 5, 1, 1, and 5 true. And I believe there was a proposed agreement.
There is, Your Honor. We are asking that you sentence the defendant to 4 years in the prison, concurrent with 2024 CR 6544W, which is a felon in possession of a firearm charge. And the state is going to take into consideration night mag number NM 757746, which is the possession of a controlled substance, EG1, 1 gram to 4 grams.
All right, is that the proposed agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Menchaca, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, sir.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, sir.
All right, in this cause number, there was $1,800 to be payable to Valentin Mendoza in 2020 CR 8050. Was that ever paid?
No, ma'am.
$214 was paid.
Okay.
I was paying a probation, but I didn't know if it was going to that.
And you said $214?
Yes.
All right, so that leaves a balance of $1,586. Is everyone in agreement with that defense? State?
Yes, sir.
And the other thing, he was to provide a $500 donation to the food bank. I believe that was outside the agreement, and the court instead asked him to pay off his community service hours if he wanted to. So I'm not going to add $500 donation to the San Antonio Food Bank. So this is the court's ruling. The court will follow your agreement, revoke, sentence you to 4 years in the prison. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 6544W, taking consideration NIMAG number 757746. There's to be restitution of $1,586 to Valentin, VALENTIN Mendoza. And there's to be no contact with Valentin Mendoza. And I'll make that no in-person contact. And the reason why I say that, because money needs to be sent, and technically that is contact. So there's to be no in-person contact with Valentin Mendoza. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing under that cause number?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
Yes.
In relation to the days credit, the system gives them credit for 125 days only. He also completed a SATA program for 119 days. If I could just announce on the record the dates, so they get credit for that. The days for.
Well, with regards to the SATA, whether or not I give him credit for that is going to depend whether or not he successfully completed it. So probation, did he successfully complete SATA?
Yes, sir.
All right, then he'll receive credit for SATA.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I just put the dates on the record so they can be included with the clerk?
Yes.
The days for SATA for January 13th, 2023 through May 12th, 2023. That was 119 days. Also, Your Honor, we're also requesting, he was booked in during the plea on this case that he's currently getting revoked off. He also was booked in at the same time and taken into consideration for case number 2020 CR. He was booked in, August 10th, 2020. 2020 CR 8050, Your Honor. That case was taken into consideration, but the system did not book him in on the case we're currently speaking about, which is 2020 CR 3585. So he was in custody as well from June 10th, 2020 to 10/14/2020 of 120 days approximately. We're asking for the court to give him credit for the time he was booked in at the same time. But the system showed him on bond in Mocha, but it should have had him booked in because he was in jail.
All right, the court will only give him credit for any time in custody and credit for any time in custody while this case was pending. If this case was not pending while he was in custody, then he will not receive credit.
It was, Your Honor, that when he was booked in 6/10/2020 and didn't get released till 10/14/2020. This case originated at 9/11/19, so this case was well before.
All right, the clerk is aware of my ruling, so. All right, we're gonna go on the record in 2024 CR 6544W. All right, Mr. Menchaca, did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 under the Code of Criminal Procedure with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury make a decision on whether or not to indict this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your attorney has 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering a plea under this cause number that you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information, Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, we did. I did, Your Honor. Did receive it. We did review it. I did review it with the.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Menchaca, did you review the information with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
We do.
State your proceeding on the information as presented.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Menchaca, did you review court's admonishments and defendants' waivers and affidavit of recommendations? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with felon in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
I do.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I do.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Menchaca, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
Mm,
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
mm.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I do.
According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 4 years in the prison. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 3565. State will take in consideration NIMAG number 757746. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you cite it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, ma'am.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 and the attachments.
Your Honor, defense is not.
Did you review what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The suspect listed in the police report is Andrew Menchaca.
Yes.
Are you Andrew Menchaca?
Yes, I'm the Desmond Checker, but they have me in the computer as Andrew. I don't know why.
All right. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Request that,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we would just ask to follow the agreement with the states. It took Mr. Menchaca a lot of thinking to make the agreements he had. I do think in seeing his demeanor change from the excuses he was saying at the beginning to having such a clean plea and easy afternoon. I think the wheels are turning. He knows he's gonna need to make changes when he gets out. And this is, while it's not the best outcome, it's the right outcome.
All right. Court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2020 CR 3565. Take in consideration NIMAC number 757746. There's to be no contact with Mandy, Mandy, J. Delgado, and no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And did you sign it?
yes, sir.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, you waived your right to appeal. You do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
Me 51, ma'am.
All right, so you're getting, unless you plan and live well past 100, you're getting to that point where there's going to be more of your life behind you than in front of you. You're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to spend it at the prison,
No, ma'am.
or do you want to be out and about in the free world?
No, I'm done the free work.
All right, good luck to you. You're going to have to make better choices.
Thank you.
All right.